What would this be like for your dad to go in just 12 months apart from Teeter Kennedy?
They were great friends. I think he'd be honored just to be included with look at the guys that are in there now. He'd be honored, he'd be humbled, he'd be surprised, I think.
You were born the year he won his last Stanley Cup. What do you remember of your dad? What was he able to tell you of what his exploits were in so many different sports?
We never talked about it. I think I was 7 or 8 before I even realized that he played hockey. There was nothing in the house. He was always one that was looking forward to tomorrow and wasn't living in the past, so he didn't talk a lot about the game. I remember coming down to a couple of games here at the Gardens with him, and when he used to walk across the street to the hot stove televised session, and that was kind of fun. That's the first time I probably really knew it. Yeah.
When you heard about Legends Row, was there a concern that players who played in your dad's era might get maybe forgotten? Because he played a while ago. But
I'm not really sure. There's so much tradition. This is such a storied franchise. I think when they were trying to do something like that, they were trying to kindle it for all ages. And really, you look at my dad and Teeter, there's not too many people around that actually saw them play right now, so they're sort of an unknown. But I think the Leafs, they have a very class act, and I think they were doing the right thing.
And your dad also is a guy well known for being a class act. They say he didn't drink, didn't swear, I think had great manners. Really what a captain probably wanted to be in the eyes of Leaf fans.
Yeah, I think so. I think he tried to play hard. He was an honest player. I was talking to George Armstrong, and George, actually Dad coached George, and he says the worst thing out of his head was, by hum guys, we better win this game today, and I'm saying, what'd you do, all snicker when he left the room? And he said, oh, no. We respected him for who he was and what he'd accomplished at that time. It wasn't something that was talked about in the house. My dad wasn't much to live on past laurels.
Do you have an idea what the statue will look like, or will you have some input in that?
I have no idea. No, I probably none at all. Hopefully I'm going to be around for the 12th when they unveil it. So I just think it's a huge honor, and it's fun to have my kids here and grandkids here to sort of celebrate in the whole event.
How special would your dad have been to Con, given his participation in 2 years in World War II, and yet getting to come back and win a couple of Stanley Cups after performing his services for Canada?
Well, I think there was a mutual bond there. I think they respected each other. I think that Con, he all he wanted everybody was a true effort every game. Come to play. And I think there was a special bond. There was a special bond between all those players back then. Teeter and my dad, and the respect for management and what they were here to try to do. So I think that it was probably a very close-knit family, right from management right down to players. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you played, Jillian played, you talk about the whole family being a hockey family, it's like a mini dynasty kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I said that to someone. I said, most of my career I was known as Syl Apps' son. And then all of a sudden I became known as Jillian Apps' dad. So somewhere there I lost a little bit of something. But I think Dad would have been proud of Jillian and what she did. He probably would have thought she was a little rough around the edges, but that's the way she played the game. Yeah, it was. He was always very interested in the kids, what they were doing, and the first thing he would ask is, "How's school going? And how's the hockey going? And have you got a boyfriend or girlfriend?" So that was as far as we got. And Dad didn't. It's a shame because the last 10 years of his life we weren't able to really talk about those experiences when maybe it would have been nice to do.
Paul indicated he left the team to serve in the war and come back. He must be very proud that he did that.
Yeah, I think that was the thing to do. He never talked about the war either, so I can't tell any stories of why he did it or not. But I think there were a great number of them that thought that was their patriotic duty. To go over and fight in the war, and I think hockey at that time was still a game, and there were things more important than the game. So. Yeah.
How good an athlete was he? And I mean, maybe great. I mean, a pole vaulter at the Olympics, football at McMaster. I mean, he did everything.
Yeah, he was a very good athlete. Mind you, he wouldn't tell you that. I remember being up at the cottage. We had the ice cleared off, and I was about 5 or 6, and I couldn't understand why I couldn't get the puck off him. You know, as a little kid, you're going like, why can't I get the puck off him? But you know, I think he took great pride in that. I have a nephew that rode in Barcelona and won gold in the 8s, and then he would have been proud of Jillian getting to the top of her field. But yeah, he was. I'm not sure if humble is the right word, but he really didn't like to talk about himself. He was a man of very few words. Trust me, and when he said no, it meant no.